The Priority Current Plus has just been released, expanding upon the original Priority Current that has long been a leader in the affordably priced premium e-bike category. Which might sound like an oxymoron, but stick with me because this is an e-bike that offers bike shop e-bike specs and components, yet is priced surprisingly reasonably for us everyday folks that don't have separate Lycra cycling clothes.
Hey everyone, Micah here with Electrek, and today we're reviewing the Priority Current Plus. Come along with us while we check it out.
I've been having a blast testing out the Priority Current Plus, especially since most of my e-bikes are much more on the budget end of the spectrum. And while the company Priority Bicycles doesn't try to compete with those ultra-budget brands, they still do a great job of fitting in a ton of value here, even while building their bikes around premium quality components. If you're not familiar with Priority Bicycles, they're a really awesome company that offer this strange combination of bike shop quality, since it's actually a bike shop in Manhattan founded and run by lifelong cyclists, yet that has become a leader in direct-to-consumer online bicycles too, both for their electric and their acoustic bike models. The new Priority Current Plus here is the brand's flagship model, and it's pretty much armed to the teeth with awesome kit. Let's run through how the bike is outfitted real quick here first. It starts with that 500 watt mid-drive motor that outputs 140 Newton meters of torque. I know 500 watts doesn't sound like much in a country full of 750 watt e-bikes, but this thing flies up to 28 miles per hour or 45 kilometers per hour if you unlock the Class 3 setting, and it climbs like a champ too. 140 Newton meters is one of the most torquey motors out there. There is also a throttle here, which makes it one of the very few throttle-enabled mid-drive e-bikes on the market. But the torque sensor pedal assist works so great that I don't even find myself using the throttle that often. The motor drives a Gates CDX carbon belt drive, which is a beautiful piece of kit, and it flows into one of two transmission choices. I've been testing the Enviolo heavy-duty CVT hub here, which gives you stepless shifting, but the bike also comes with an option for a Shimano Nexus 5-speed internally geared hub. They're both technically internally geared, and so you get a clean, maintenance-free setup that allows you to shift in motion or at rest. The new battery in the Plus is now much larger at 720 watt-hours, and is UL certified to UL 2271 for safety and security. In fact, the entire bike's electrical system is UL certified to UL 2849 for added peace of mind. The battery also has a new button release to make it easier to pop the battery out after you've unlocked it. With big batteries like these, anything to make the battery removal process easier is a nice touch. I think that covers the major specs, but there are some other nice-to-have features too, like the through axles for much stronger and sturdier build quality, integrated LED lighting, hydraulic disc brakes with electric cutoffs for quick stops with a low-maintenance braking system, Goodyear tires for quality rubber with excellent grip, integrated fenders so you're not slinging dirty water up onto your nice clothes, and adjustable handlebars so you can dial in the angle and the height that you prefer based on your favorite riding position. Now that we've gone through all of those specs, now let's talk about the ride. First of all, this thing is fast, at least if you want it to be. It does ship in 20 mile per hour mode, but you can unlock it to 28 miles per hour. It's also got really great range. On this ride here, I reset the trip meter when the battery was fully charged, then I did 34.4 kilometers or 21.4 miles, and used approximately 40% of the battery, giving me an extrapolated range of around 53 miles or 86 kilometers per charge. That was mostly on around level 3 pedal assist, with some throttling around for good measure. So if you use throttle only, you're going to get less than 50 miles, but if you use less throttle than I did, or you use a lower pedal assist than I did, you'll get more than 50 miles of range. The ride is also nice and comfortable. I lifted my bars up higher after my first few rides, and I like that upright riding position. There's no suspension here, which is common in these more premium urban bikes because it allows them to be stronger and last longer and be lighter and everything else, but the ride is still quite comfortable. While I generally enjoy really good bike infrastructure, this particular bike lane I'm in here is all pavers and it's bumpy, but the ride was still pretty decent. Obviously it's not going to compete with a full suspension bike, but it's just not that kind of bike. The pedal assist here is also super responsive thanks to that torque sensor. It's nice having the throttle, but like I said, this bike just pedals so nicely that it inspires me to use the throttle less. The throttle is great for quick acceleration from a stop or when you're tired, though remember to downshift to get more torque out of that throttle and put less wear on the drivetrain. So yeah, the bike ride's great, but what I really like are all the quality parts included. The great hydraulic brakes, the belt drive that lasts for tens of thousands of miles with zero maintenance and stays clean and silent, the internally geared hub options that give you quick, responsive shifts even when you forget to downshift at a stop, the alloy platform pedals, the stainless steel hardware, the comfortable saddle. Basically, they just went primo on all the parts that they could, and it really shows. Now, like I always say, no e-bike is perfect, they each have their own unique disadvantages, and there are some downsides here too. First of all, of course, this is not going to be a cheap bike. At either $32.99 or $34.99, depending on the rear hub you select, this is not an impulse buy, but it's also simply made a lot better. It uses much higher quality and longer lasting components, and it rides nicer than budget bikes. So you get what you pay for, 100%. Next, it is a bit heavy. Now it's a commuter bike, but it's not a lightweight ride. At 56 pounds or 25 kilos, you can carry it up a flight of stairs if necessary, but I wouldn't want to go up several flights with it unless I really had to. And lastly, you only get two color options, white or charcoal gray. I get it, it's hard to stock too many models, and I do like that they have 3 frame sizes so that folks can get the right fit for them, but I'm definitely a bright color bike guy, so it's always fun to see vibrant color offerings. Ultimately though, all of my complaints are rather small and nitpicky, like the fact that I had to put my own bell on it. It would have been nice for it to include a nice bell, but I have to really search around for little stuff like that to whine about, because otherwise, the bike is just really good. It's so solidly made, and it uses higher quality components wherever possible. Even that kickstand, it's such a nice and solid feeling kickstand instead of a cheap bent piece of metal like on all of my other budget bikes. There's the beautifully integrated lighting so it doesn't catch on things at a bike rack. The super responsive and comfortable pedaling. It's all just so nicely designed and executed that it makes a huge difference in the enjoyment of the ride, not to mention in the low maintenance ownership experience. At $32.99 starting, this isn't going to be the best-selling e-bike in the US anytime soon, but it's a great choice for anyone who wants a higher quality, bike shop level e-bike, but who doesn't want to pay typical bike shop prices. You get all the good stuff, and from a great reputable company that stands behind its products, but just save a lot of cash versus going with those fancier bike shop companies. Suffice it to say, if you can swing it, you are not going to be disappointed with this e-bike.
Thanks for watching, everyone. We hope you enjoyed that review of the Priority Current Plus. If you did, why don't you give this video a thumbs up? And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any of our future electric vehicle videos. We'll see you here next time.